Hello world, today we're going to talk about innovation and entrepreneurship. My name is Joseph Bonaparte. I am Associate Professor in Finance, University of Colorado. I'm Director for Externals, and I also do consulting for top investment companies in the world. The innovation and entrepreneurship. What is innovation? Innovation came from a Latin word called innovative, which means renew. It's innovare, but people love spell it as pronounce it as innovare, and means renew and reflect a journey. And producing a new idea means you are creative, but an idea to be a great value become to be an innovation. So it's important to understand the difference between innovation and an idea. Idea is to come up with a creative. Being a creative, that's an idea, but innovative is to have idea plus a value. So why innovation is needed? Innovation is needed to survive. Here is an example of companies did not survive because of lack of innovation. Some of these companies didn't survive, not because lack of innovation, it's because the market structure changed, versus companies because lack of innovation. For example, Kodak. Kodak, it's a camera that you take a picture and you take the film. I remember in the late 90s, give it to us. The tower, CD towers, and give us the pictures, and then I put them in an envelope and send it to friends, families. So the market structure has a change, and then Kodak no longer has a presence because the market changed, and now we have a digital pictures, and you can send it digitally to your friends and families, or share them in the social media. So here, innovation was not the problem for Kodak, but MySpace, BlackBerry, and YellowCab. The problem was innovation. MySpace was ahead of Facebook or Meta now in social media and social network, but Facebook passed them. So that's a bad innovation from MySpace. BlackBerry, similarly, they used to be a leader in phone, but even Barack Obama, President Obama, was using BlackBerry in 2008-9. But Apple and Samsung came and passed them because of screen touch, and that's innovation problem. Didn't want to develop their product, and then they lost the market. YellowCab versus Uber. YellowCab was taking over all the North American market, cab driver. But Uber came and just did an application in the phone, and YellowCab didn't want to replicate their work and compete, so they're gone. And they're still here and there in the not big time, but Uber most likely took over the entire market with the other companies. So why we need innovation? So as I give you example here, adapting and growing. Like for example, you take Intel versus NVIDIA. Intel was the biggest company in the world, but then NVIDIA came in the like 90s, 1999, their IPO, and took over because reinvented themselves, they disrupt themselves, NVIDIA, but Intel did not. Now, NVIDIA replaced the A100 with the H100, RTX, and generative AI, and Intel just doing the same thing, just make more, better or faster. That's what they focus on instead to create new products. So why innovation? Charles Darwin and innovation. Charles Darwin said something very interesting. Not the strongest, not the fastest, not the biggest species survive, but the most adaptable and innovative species. So in order to survive in this world, you have to be very adaptive and very innovative. So Charles Darwin came up with an idea that innovation is a key for survival. So innovation has a process of 3 steps. First, idea. So if you come up with an idea, that means you're creative. But then you have to refine the idea and improve it and make a pilot as a product. If you go through this 3 process, then you're innovative, not creative. Innovative is bigger than creative. Type of innovation in new products versus improvement. For example, a new product, smartphone, came as a new product with the internet, and you can do a lot of things, pictures and stuff like that. Improvement, like a product that make it cheaper for the company, cheaper for household, or increase the revenue, and so on and so on. For example, is Uber app, it's an improvement from YellowCab or a new product? I think it's a new product, because if YellowCab has an app, and Uber came and took over the market, then we can say improvement. It's nicer with Uber. But no, it's a new product. Came, they put an app. Yellow didn't have an app. They put an app and they make it easier for travelers to use it, and they do it. How to be innovative. I want to talk about this a lot. You have to be a critical thinker. Now, some people think that AI technology and ChatGPT and Bard AI make you less critical thinking. I didn't buy this story. The opposite. It makes you more productive. So you have to be a critical thinker. So I'm a professor. I have students. And I can see the critical thinking from non-critical thinking. The students who challenge the professor, ask a question about the class. Now, there are different types of questions. Can you repeat what you just said? That's a type of question that you missed something and you want to recover. But no, the question I'm talking about is, why is that? Question the assumption. Is that I was right? But why did it not happen with that company? Why this? If you continue question the assumption and the suggestion by the professor, that means you have a critical thinking. If you continue to do that, your critical thinking starts growing. Education help you a lot, because with the education you can see a better picture. What are the themes that you can use to execute an idea, business idea? Community involvement. Trust me, this is a very important tool. How you can see what the world missing, the next idea that the world missing. Well, the simplest way to do it is to go and meet the community, see how they struggle, how they face the problems they have, and what they need to improve their life. And then to be a scholar of history, you have to go on, and I will talk about Tesla later on, Elon Musk. You have to see the history, who are the innovative, why they innovate, and how they innovate, and how that changed the world. Now I'm going to talk about innovation challenges, adapt and reinvent. So when you have innovation idea, you have an idea and you develop the idea and you have the product, then you go to the next stage, which is to convince customers, convince the ecosystem, developer with the clear vision, competition, resiliency, because usually when you have a new idea, people don't buy it. For example, Microsoft, Bill Gates, when he talk about Microsoft software, people say, well, how many PC, how many personal computers people will buy? Not a lot, so not a good idea. But then they say, no, in the future with the Moore's law, people will buy a lot of personal computer, PCs. They continue thinking in the PC product, and then they become one of the largest company in the world, Microsoft. Now we're going to talk about entrepreneurship. And the question is, what is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship is a French word, came from the 13th century, entrepreneur day, which means to do something or to undertake something. This entrepreneur day developed to be entrepreneur, which is a business venture as we know it now. Now, here's the two people that you know or you heard of them. Nikola Tesla and Elon Musk. Who is the innovator and who is the entrepreneur? I think Nikola Tesla is the innovative, because he came up with the idea of electrical vehicle, and he was at fight always with the Edison, who created the light, the bulb. Edison was wrong about the electricity. The electricity we have in our house and the factories and plants is because of Nikola Tesla. And the first idea was by Edison, but it was wrong. Nikola Tesla fixed it, and we have the technology of Nikola Tesla. So he's the innovator. He came up with the electrical vehicle, and Elon Musk bought the pilot from entrepreneurs, guys from South California, and he turned it to be a Tesla as of today. So Elon Musk is the entrepreneur in this case. Nikola Tesla is the innovator. He came up with this idea. By the way, Nikola Tesla, he invented the first version of tower with the Wi-Fi internet. So he was one of the first people to do that. So he's the innovator, and Elon Musk is the entrepreneur. So this is an idea how the difference between entrepreneur and innovator. Now, Elon Musk is innovative in other ideas, like paper was one of his ideas. And the OpenAI company, which is he gave them $100 million, but then he withdrew. Yes. So the idea is, in this case, in the car electrical vehicle, Elon Musk was the entrepreneur and Nikola Tesla was the innovator. So what's the difference between entrepreneurship and entrepreneur? Entrepreneurship is the process turning an innovation into business. Entrepreneur is the person who deliver this process. So how to be an entrepreneur? Now this is a critical because you're willing to take risk. But I have a lot of friends, oh, I take risk in life, but calculated risk. Well, calculated risk is not taking risk. It's just an extra risk you take, extra something. It works fine. If it doesn't work, doesn't fine. No, I'm talking about taking risk when you really put all what you have in stake. That's a taking risk. And you know that if you fail, you're going to be a problem for you for maybe decades. Networking. This is critical. Without networking, even if you are smart, innovative, and you're willing to take risk, at the end of the day, you have to go and talk to the world. Now, if you take, for example, Einstein, he came from Germany, and Germany back then, late 30s, early 40s, was the best knowledge there, the best universities, physics, and hydro technology. All of this Germany was number one. Hydraulic and the other technology. But when he came here, he started helping with his knowledge and develop his research ideas. But if you take Einstein now, he cannot be, nobody will know about him because he doesn't have networking. If he doesn't have a soft skills, nobody know about him. But back then, because there are few scientists, so people know about him. So you have to have a networking. Even if you're Einstein, smarter than Einstein or Nikola Tesla, you still have to have networking. And that's what Elon Musk, the added value of Elon Musk. He's networking, but Twitter as an arm to leverage with politics. So Tesla will not be, the policymaker cannot go against Tesla. Building a business plan. At the end of the day, if you are taking risk and you have network, you still have to have a bottom line here. So you have to talk about how do you expect the cost to grow and how the revenues are going to grow. Because if you are innovative and you are an entrepreneur, if you're an entrepreneur in the first few years, you're going to burn cash. Your bottom line will be negative, but you need to show that we are going to be a green and the business is going to be thriving. And secure funding. You have to have a skill of secure funding. For example, Bill Gates with Microsoft, he ended up adding some partners to secure funding. And one of his partners is the owner of the basketball Clippers and Los Angeles Clippers. So if you didn't know how to secure it, then you have to bring people to help you with secure fundings. This is all what I have for you for about innovation and entrepreneurship. I want to close with this Charles Darwin when he said the strongest, the tallest, the fastest are not the survivor species, but the species that adapt to changes and to the environment are the species that survive. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy this video. Here is my email if you have a question. Thank you so much.